Hello, and welcome everybody. It's time for another Creatures and Corridors live stream. Today we're playing some D&D. I hope you're excited, because we certainly are. This is a very special session, or rather start to many sessions, because we are returning to the world of Theros. And if this is your first time here with us, just a quick reminder, don't forget to give us a follow here on Twitch. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. Throw a comment. Let us know what you think. We want to hear from you guys. What do you like? What do you not like? What are your thoughts? And just before we get going here, although this is the beginning, a new beginning to a campaign, these are the continuations of kind of two different campaigns that have converged into this new campaign that we've got going here. So if you haven't seen our Beyond Death series, we've got a 3-part mini adventure where our lovely Hestia and Kyriakos can be found. That's their origins. And as far as the old campaign goes, that was before we started streaming on Twitch. But if you want to get the rundown and hear about how all that went down, how that all transpired, kind of hear a retelling, a recounting of that campaign, we do a podcast where me and Mr. Kyle here talk about that. And we kind of break down the characters as well as kind of session by session. We just kind of go over the high points and the major events of that campaign. So if you want to check that out, we've got all that up on our YouTube channel, Creatures and Corridors, just the way it sounds. And yeah, I guess let's go around, and we've got the names here, but if everyone wants to introduce themselves, say a few words, go for it.
All right, I guess I'll go first because I'm talking. My name is Kyle. Previous Star Wars campaign, I played Vrain. And Beyond Death, I played Bjork. And before all of that, I played Darius Stormchild. An SMR, Storm Sorcerer, Tempest Cleric, multi-class, who hits things with his hammer and follows Keranos, the god of storms.
Another long time fan, first time caller, JK. This is like my third time here. Fourth time maybe, I don't know, I've lost count. Anyways, sup, I'm Jama. I'll be playing Alcaeus tonight. In Star Wars, I played Boldgrave. In Beyond Death, I played Argus. And this is what we were doing before the stream. And I've been begging for forever to come back to Theros. So I'm so happy we're back. But yeah, I look forward to being Alcaeus Tidebringer, Worshipper of Iros, and Chosen Oracle of Thassa. So I'll see you guys in the game.
Jesse?
I'm Jesse. I am playing Cyrus. I have no god. I am a icon class. I have not played D&D since 2019, the last time we played this campaign, so very excited to get back into it.
Welcome back!
We are super happy to have you back. It's a pleasure.
Can't wait for that natural 20 on your first roll. That doesn't matter.
With our luck, right?
Good, 20.
Oh, man. Happy to have you back, you godless heathen.
Glad to be back.
Anthony?
I'm playing Kyriakos Brighthoof from the Beyond Death, which is the satyr anvil rot and my little metal dragon. Previously, I was playing Data Medes, who we will see end up leaving the group today.
Sad. Tiny violins.
I know.
Yeah. He's a cool boy. And Miss Fiend.
Hey, I'm Soft, the Soft Fiend. I'm the talking PNG. I'm playing Hestia again for this game. I previously joined for the Christmas Call of Cthulhu game, and I'm excited to heal for these nerds.
The heels on wheels. All right.
Oh, really?
Well, it's good to be here, and sit back, enjoy the show, and yeah, let's play some D&D.
Very excited.
It is an age of legends, gods and heroes, monsters and wicked schemes. The world of Theros is one that is ever changing, shaped by the will of the Nyx, where the power of belief manifests concept into reality. Our story begins not at the beginning, but rather at the intersection of two very different tales. One, a group of destined heroes, handpicked by the will of the gods. The other, fallen paragons who have been given a second chance at life. Despite their differences, they were all chosen to champion their respective gods as arbiters of their ideals. Will they rise to the challenge that lay before them, or become a footnote in the epic of another's greatness? Hestia, Kyriakos, you awaken after surviving your travel through the portal of Lathos from the underworld. You find yourself not quite sure exactly where you are, but you seem to be out in the middle of the woods somewhere, laying all too familiar, flat on your back. This time, thankfully, not in a shallow grave, but instead on soft grass. You can hear the faint sound of birds chirping. As you awaken, you realize that despite departing with a group of 5, 6 of you, it's just Kyriakos, Hestia, and Spyro that awaken in this middle of the woods.
Where do you think everybody else is?
I don't know. I'm surprised you and I are the only ones that seem to have woken up together.
I hope the others are okay. And Hestia will start getting up, glad to not have the feeling of death looming all around her.
Do you know where we are?
And Hestia will start looking around, see if anything comes familiar to her.
You look left, forest. You look right, forest. You look up, trees. You look down, grass. You can make a history check if you'd like. See if maybe or a nature check also potentially. That suits you.
And is it daytime right now?
It is daytime. Yes, the sun is shining. Birds are chirping.
It is exactly as you described.
Yeah, it's you're really not sure exactly where this is, but it doesn't feel like the underworld, so that's a good start.
The good news is you are not dead, and it doesn't smell like brimstone.
Why don't I climb the tree to see what I can see around? Maybe I can get some bearings that way. So Spyro will help boost me up so I can get to the top branch, and I'll just climb up.
Using your 6 satyr hops, you vault off of your little mechanical drakeling and bound high into the upper boughs of the tree. Go ahead and give me a perception check with advantage when you get up.
Neat. 16.
So you look around and you see the tops of a lot of trees, and you also see that you are on an island, and it looks like it's a pretty good ways to the water, but just a little bit north of you, you see a large clearing up ahead. Looks like maybe 15-20 minute walk from where you are right now.
That's not too far. We could try to make our way that way. Maybe we can find some people. Yeah.
I would not be opposed to that.
Yeah, I'll hop back down. There's a clearing to the north. We should possibly go that way. Maybe we can find some other people.
Sounds like a good idea. Do I have like a hole in my neck? As she starts like fingering this new diamond-shaped symbol that's on her neck. It's leaking out what can only be described as stardust and a purple mist. And now, in her shadows, is reflecting a glimpse of the night sky, which was not there before.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, Kyriakos, you you come down and she's like leaking out of the neck, leaking stardust.
Yeah, you appear to have a hole in your neck still. I thought that might have healed up upon waking up.
It doesn't hurt. And she just keeps fingering it. It's like, well, I guess let's go.
If I ate, my stomach might be churning.
And Hestia, despite it not hurting, you realize that this starlight begins to pool around your feet. It's almost like it's starting to, rather than like dissipate, it's starting to like gather and solidify. And as it continues to solidify, it grows and grows and grows until it is the shape of a human or a humanoid. This kind of this starry blob-like facsimile of a creature begins to, kind of grow arms and legs and take the shape of a head, and then you see two eyes open.
Argus?
Yeah, squinting.
I am not the one known as Argus, but
Who are you?
I am of his kin. I am a watcher. Divine, the divine gatherers of knowledge who serve the gods.
What are you doing here?
It is as I said. I am here to observe.
Oh, okay. You just gonna come with us?
If you'll have me.
Of course.
Yeah,
What was your
why
name?
not?
My name is not important, but in due time.
You may call me the Watcher.
For now, you may call me the Watcher.
Okay. I just wanted to know what to call you. All right. Well, we're gonna go on that way. You can come with us.
The way. As you begin to speak with this creature, it goes from a vague humanoid, and the detail starts to fill out. Its silhouette becomes more refined, less vague, and you can tell that it is actually the shape of a Leonin, which
that's cool.
Which are this world's they're like lion men, for anyone who's unfamiliar.
Nice.
And so you guys head off and begin heading north towards that clearing, and the Watcher begins to follow you.
Watching.
And watching. And as you walk through this forest, Spyro begins to kind of like sniff around, and he's checking out the trees and looking around up in the branches, and Kyriakos, he seems kind of on edge.
What's the matter, boy? What are you feeling?
He's like making a noise. It's like kind of a whine, but also kind of a growl. It's a very like he's never made this noise before.
It sounds like there might be a threat in the area, and it might be something strong if he's whining too.
he sticks close to you after you kind of, pat his head a little bit, trying to console him. So he's like glued to your leg, like almost like walking in lockstep with you.
We should probably be on our guard, Hestia.
Maybe we should move a little slower and more carefully.
I agree. It would probably be for the best.
What a stealth.
Yeah, if y'all both want to give me a stealth check, you can do so.
Oh,
16 and a 7.
that was
You can give me
almost a 17.
You give me a stealth check for Spyro as well.
Okay, let me open up his page.
Oh.
Don't think he has stealth. Actually, I'm not sure if he's proficient with any of the skills. Let's just roll a dex roll.
Not bad. So you guys try to be cautious, avoiding fallen branches and dry leaves, though there's not too much dead stuff around here. It's everything's pretty lively, and just kind of the natural falling of branches that comes with time and age. So you pick your way forward into this clearing, and
Oh wait,
whenever
I have a spell for this. Hold on.
He's got a spell.
I forgot I took the spell. We can pass
Without trace?
Yeah. Duration up to an hour. This will help our stealthing.
There you go.
It's a plus 10 to stealth. We can still keep the rolls and just add 10.
There we go.
That works.
Now we're stealthing.
Now we're doing ranger stuff.
For real.
Oh, did we wake up with a long rest, or do we still have where we finished the last session with?
You are as you finished the last session.
Okay.
Kyriakos, you hold up your lantern, and you quietly mutter a prayer under your breath, and you ask for Perforos to shield you from any prying eyes. And when you do so, the lantern begins to kind of faintly glow, and then a dark, almost not quite black, but like a starry, similar to the Nyx, a starry mist begins to kind of emanate, and it shields you and Hestia and Spyro in a misty, mystical, shadowy radius of protection.
Nice.
And so you guys make your way forward.
I'll include the Watcher in that pass without trace.
Oh, okay, yeah. He almost whenever the mist surrounds you, he almost disappears entirely. If not for the white of his eyes, you probably wouldn't even know he's there. He blends in with the pass without trace.
Nice.
And so you guys pull up on the edge of this clearing, and what you see in the middle is quite strange.
How strange.
How strange we talking?
As you approach the clearing, you see in the middle an odd-looking tree in the center. The tree's bark is, instead of, like a normal tree, it's a stark white porcelain bark. And you can see this bloody red flesh that's visible between the cracks.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
Instead of the clean vertical lines, the trunk instead has this bulbous, bulging protrusion that makes up the middle of the trunk and lower boughs. The tree is about 60 feet. This tree is about 60 feet from the tree line.
I thought you were gonna say 60 feet tall. I was gonna be like, this is a Dark Souls boss.
The tree is actually quite tall. Not quite 60 feet, but definitely like a good 30, 40 feet. It's pretty tall.
I'm not sure I want to go near that tree.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
I've traveled quite a bit, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before.
Maybe we could, skirt around it, maybe avoid it. We'll stay in the tree line.
That's probably a good call. Watcher, do you know what that is? Did Russell DC?
Yeah, I
he
think
might
I
have.
did.
I was like, his expression isn't changing. He's either waiting for me to do something else, or that's the exact expression the Watcher is giving me.
Oh, we all die.
Sorry, all my internet cut out.
It cut out at perfect time too, because I was like, Watcher, have you ever seen anything like this? And your camera was just like you not moving, so I was like, is that the expression he's giving me?
Not moving and cheesing. That was the best part. You were just like, I was like, oh, that's great.
Oh man,
Oh.
perfect timing. Okay, so you asked him if he's ever seen something like this.
Yeah.
He says, I have not.
Yeah, let's give this thing a wide berth.
So just as you say that, wide berth, Spyro takes off towards the tree.
Oh my gosh.
Damn it, Spyro, what are you doing? And I'm chasing after him.
Oh dear, Carmitra.
He takes off towards the tree.
Hestia's gonna watch from afar.
He's like, good luck with that.
You're not the only watcher here today.
So when you get close, Spyro is he's like clawing at the tree, like you like when dogs want to get out and they're like at the door, and he's like pawing at it.
What do you see? And I guess I'll try to interact with the tree.
So you look up, and this large bulbous central part, as I described before, whenever you inspect it closer, you actually see something inside the tree. Inside are 3 humanoid-looking figures that are trapped within a large resinous deposit that encases them. Their eyes are wide open, but are glowing faintly with silver. Pure silver pupils, pure silver with no pupils, and seems to have kind of a faint magical energy about it.
I'll try to see if they react at all.
No response.
Hestia, it looks like there's some people trapped in the tree.
Okay, I'm gonna come up very slowly. Going towards the creepy tree now.
What do these people look like besides their eyes? Like, what race?
Make a perception check. Wow, dude. You can just ask people what race they are.
It's species now.
Species, sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, 21.
Well, I need to know exactly what genus and family they belong to as well.
One of them is a Triton, and the other 2 are humans. The Triton seems to be of a muscular stature. He's wearing armor and has a great sword. One of the humans is also wearing armor and has a large warhammer, and the third appears to be wearing like mage robes.
The Triton seems kind of out of place. I know I saw some water in the distance, but it's not that close to this clearing. I wonder what he's doing with these guys. What do you think we should do, Hestia?
I think we gotta try and get him out of there. And she's gonna pull out her mace. Time to get smashing.
It's
Smashing
clobbering
good
time.
time. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll. 12. Well, being a stationary tree, it's not very good at dodging. Go ahead and roll damage. So you reel back and bash against this thing with one heavy swing. You give it all you got, Hestia, and surprisingly, you expected like barely anything to happen, but surprisingly, it immediately cracks, like as if it was made of porcelain. These spiderweb cracks just immediately just shoot across the whole thing, and chunks of it begin to start falling away. It takes a moment, but the resinous fluid that makes up this large kind of encasement, as whenever you strike it and it begins to fall away, the resin softens and begins to turn into like a jello-y, like sloshy mess, and the three humanoids begin to slide out of there in like a nasty mudslide of resin gunk.
I'm gonna check if they're alive, breathing, anything.
Make a medicine check. They are alive, and they are breathing, and their eyes, when they are released from this prison, their eyes that were glowing silver, the glow of silver begins to fade, and you see their eyes start to kind of flutter a bit as they are slowly regaining consciousness.
Spyro starts to lick the Triton, trying to wake him up.
Yeah, yeah. Spyro's licking the sap off the Triton.
She's gonna do what she's learned, taking medicine, and like give them all good slaps on the cheeks.
That's good medicine right there.
If Alcas is alert enough because of the alert fee, he's definitely catching the hand before he slaps him.
It's not gonna be a hard slap. It's like the grabbing both your cheeks.
If he does not like the touch of a maiden, it's a distraction.
But I have soft gloves on.
You do. That's the danger.
Assuming we wake up to this.
Yep, that's you three.
Okay. Cool. I
look up to see everyone in front of me. Kind of jolts up and look around.
How did you guys get in that tree?
Oh crap! Another satyr. God.
Hey, now that's racist.
Yeah, what's that supposed to mean?
I draw my blade and I'm like, Satyr, where art thou, master, and who do you serve?
Well, my creator is Perforos, and I guess technically I work for Nylea.
That is quite conflicting given our journey, isn't it, Darius? I don't know how to go about this. He doesn't look
Neither
like
do I.
belongs. And then
Nope,
Alcaeus is just picking the sap out of his nose, like not even caring that anyone else is there.
No, Spyro got that out for you.
He's doing like the nose rocket thing.
Yeah.
Spyro cleaned your ears though.
Oh.
I feel exhausted. You said Perfros Nylia?
Yeah.
How did we? Okay, Cyrus, you're here too?
Gonna be on the floor looking up at the sky, trying to catch my breath since I'm not an active person. I can breathe again.
I offer Cyrus my hand with my free hand.
I get your hand to get up.
Yeah, I help you up.
How do all of you feel?
Angry.
I've been better, but I'm more concerned about where we are. What happened to us?
How long has it been since we've been in that? I don't even remember how we got here. We have a quest to complete, and this is not relatable.
There was I remember an island of satyrs. There was some Xenagos talk. And the next thing you know, us three are stuck in this tree. Do you guys remember anything else?
No, I don't remember anything.
I'm gonna cast locate object on the bulwark to see if we're on the same plane.
Okay.
Locate objects, what, 1,000 feet?
Yeah, but me and Russ made mine a piety thing. So I'm just basically gonna pray and see if I get an answer.
Can I do a perception check? See if I recognize the plane?
Yeah, go for it. Both of you can.
Okay. You want me to roll anything for it, Russell?
Let's roll a religion check since you said
Okay.
it's like a piety situation. And then go ahead, Cyrus. You're welcome to roll that perception as well.
I roll low.
So Cyrus, you are fairly confident that you are not on a different plane, that you are still on Theros, as far as you can tell. But something is amiss. There's something different. You're not quite sure what. Alcaeus, you reach out with your kind of divine sense, praying to Iroas, and you sense that the bulwark is not on this island, but it is on this plane.
Well, I'm assuming that this is one of the Dakra Isle's many tricks. We shouldn't linger before we folly to more.
It must be, but do we even have a boat? We must find the shore.
Which direction is the shore?
If this is an island, we just start walking and we'll find it.
One would hope.
Well, I saw water in that direction, and I point to the direction that I had seen water from.
What's your name?
Oh yeah, we should probably introduce ourselves. I'm Kyriakos. This is Spyro, and this is Hestia, and that guy over there is the Watcher.
I am the Watcher.
I completely ignore the Watcher and stare at Spyro. I'm very intrigued on what's keeping it moving.
He, with you staring at him, he looks at you excitedly and like comes up to you and like starts sniffing you, and then he starts like trying to get some head pats rubbing on you.
What is this thing?
He is my Drake. He's my partner. Perforos created him for me to have a helper with while I tended to Nylia's drakes across the continent.
So this is a construct given to you.
Sort of. I mean, he's his own person, but he sticks with me.
Interesting.
The
Curious situation.
Spyro is giving you kind of the sniff, Cyrus, and you as he sniffs your hand, you feel something beneath your robes, and an owl pops its head out of from beneath Cyrus's robe. A curious looking owl that is blue and has kind of a faint ephemeralness to it. It's not it doesn't look entirely solid. It's like almost a little bit translucent. It's mostly solid, but just you can ever so faintly see that it's got kind of this ghostly look to it.
When Spyro sees the owl, he does like the classic dog, head down, butt up, ready to play. Just staring at the owl.
Cyrus,
Yes.
we cannot trust these people so easily. The only Nyxborns we've encountered have been foes to our objective and our journey. The pleasantries have been sweet, but I fear we must part ways.
Well, I'm not a Nyxborn.
No, but this woman and this beast clearly are. I've seen beasts like him before, back at Akros, and I wish not to conflict with such a beast again, but if I must, if you stand in my way, demon, I will kill you.
I don't think he's bad. We had another guy that looked kind of just like him, and we all got out of the underworld together.
Well, your words operate under the assumption that your words are good.
Well, for all we know, you guys could be not so great, and it could have not been a good idea to let you guys out of the tree.
Yeah, we helped you get out when we saw you.
They make a good point. We shouldn't jump to conclusions. We need to discuss what led us all here.
I'm going to turn around and I'm going to try to observe the tree and see if I can figure out anything, I don't know, off about it other than its stark whiteness. Yeah, see if there's anything, I don't know, religious in nature or like magical in nature. I don't know.
Go ahead and give me.
I can detect magic. I'll just detect magic.
You want to cast detect magic? Okay, sure.
Yeah,
No,
cast detect magic. While observing the tree, its roots, probably the amber or the sap that we came from, etc.
Whoa. Amber is the color of this tree's goop. So, Darius, as you invoke the power of the gods, praying to your deity, you begin to kind of extend your senses to pick up at the more magical spectrum of this world. And when you do, your senses are overwhelmed with powerful necromancy. This tree reeks of evil, dark magic.
What's it called? Once I get that like overwhelming sensation, I kind of like I clutch my stomach and wanting to almost like hurl, and then I just like grab my hammer and just slam it into the tree.
I see Darius hit the tree, and Okaz immediately starts attacking the tree too. No hesitation. No hesitation.
Are you guys okay?
This tree is wrought with necromantic magic. I will not stand for this.
But
it is disgusting.
You guys unload a series of blows on this tree, and as you do, more sheets of the white bark, this fragile porcelain, and it also makes like kind of a like it sounds like glass shattering and breaking as it falls away. The leaves even have like a rigid, instead of like a soft like organic texture, the leaves seem to have this like almost glass like property as they fall from the branches. And As you assault this tree with your weapons, you see a multitude of creatures begin to crawl out from the branches.
Do they look
What do they
hostile?
look like?
They look like this.
So they do look hostile. Oh
Ah.
god.
Oh God!
They look like
Oh, no.
aliens.
I all of a sudden feel very good about what I just did.
Yeah, I think let's go ahead and roll initiative, boys and gals.
Let's go. Don't forget you can click your token before you roll initiative. I can't click my token. Oh yeah, I can.
Uh-oh.
I got it now. Look at my -1 initiative,
There it
like a
is.
true boss. Yeah, boy.
Get some battle music.
All right, so
I don't want to go first.
I'll take the 16
What? Wait, KS, why don't you roll with advantage?
because I have the alert feat.
Alert feat's just +5.
Is it plus
Alert.
plus 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you already have that in there. So it's the 16 either
Okay.
way, because that's the first one you rolled. But
Yeah, yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, you're right. You're
yeah,
right.
it means you can't be surprised. Invisible creatures don't have can't benefit from their invisibility when attacking you, and you have +5 to initiative.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that, Russell.
It's okay.
You just change it to the 16 on the turn order. On Jama, I think you can.
I was trying to, it wouldn't let me. Hang on. There it is. Also, I can't see my health bar. Is that like supposed to be that way?
I can see yours.
Okay.
That's funny. I can't see mine, but I can see Alcaeus's and Cyrus's.
I see all of
okay.
yours.
I can see
I can see
everybody's
everyone's,
except for
but
the
I
Watcher.
can't see my own. That's fine.
What the heck?
It's not
Cool.
important. I can track mine.
Let's go. It's also worth pointing out again that the OG crew has their numbers in the stat lines, but the Beyond Death crew doesn't.
Yep. I'll adjust that as we go. But let's get things rolling here so we can start doing the thing.
Absolutely.
I need to roll initiative.
No, it's okay.
No, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Yep, just roll one.
Zero looks good on them.
Yeah, it does.
It's true. Can confirm.
CD.
Okay, Hestia, you're up first.
Okay. Seeing as
sorry, real quick. These creatures crawl out of the branches and they're making this ugly, like clicking sound as they move into possession. They look like they're ready to leap at you at a moment, and you just instinctually, without even thinking, act first.
Hestia's gonna move back, feeling that she's tapped on all her magic. She's going to use a bonus action to call to Karamitra to give +1 bonus to my AC. And she's pulling out her handy dandy light crossbow to take a hit at one of the things.
Nice.
Stay strapped.
Nice.
22 hits.
Nice. Nice. Good damage.
Will you ping which one you were attacking? I was guessing
The closest one.
Okay. So Hestia shouts, "Karamitra, protect me!" And these spectral vines just appear from almost like from her back and envelop her in this shroud of like magical thorns. And she leaps back and pulls out her crossbow and just doesn't even hesitate and hits this thing squarely right between where its eyes should be, and it's dead.
Oh, nice.
Maybe I need a kill counter.
For real.
If that's your turn, it's Alcaeus' turn.
Yes.
And
combat.
I'm gonna go ahead and just be like, you struck first on this one, Darius, but you struck true. And then I'm gonna. Are these things in the tree?
Yeah, they're like up in the branches. It's the lowest branch is about 10 feet from the ground.
I can jump that with my strength. I'm gonna jump up to the 10-foot branch. So, which one would that be that's closest, or is that just a random branch?
So yeah, like you hop up to there's like a lower level of branches, so you hop up to that branch. So you can it's a bit tricky, but you can kind of balance and walk between them.
Okay.
You're just not as sure-footed as you would normally be.
So it's like what, half movement speed, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it'll be difficult
Alright, so
terrain.
that was 10 feet. And then I have how much? 30, so then I can move 15. Oh, what do you know? We're just gonna move into there and not even worry about what these guys can do. We're gonna attack.
Not even worry about it.
So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm two-handing it, by the way, because we lost our shield like session 3.
You lost your shield.
Dang.
Oh!
Dang.
We're just gonna.
Go ahead and roll damage. Yes.
Oh baby. Oh it's almost max damage too. That's fine though.
What's it called? This isn't set to the full version, so this is 12 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 15 damage. No.
Yeah, you're right because I forgot his
15.
+3 modifier. So, yeah, 15 damage.
So this Triton, he leaps up into the lower branches of this tree and like a ninja hops across them. Surprisingly pretty spry for a bulky boy. But he pulls out this massive long sword that's might as well be a great sword. It's so it's like the gut sword, you know. Big hunk of iron, big ugly lump of iron, and he comes and just brings this thing around and slices clean through the first one and lodges his blade into the second one before pulling it out. Whenever these things die, their blood is like this sticky black goo that seeps out of them and coats your sword.
Gross. So the sword actually has a whole bunch of really beautiful like wave patterns and stuff on it. And so because those are like magical, even though it's covered in the black ichor of their blood, you can still see the patterns on the blade. I'm gonna go ahead and
What he said. My bad.
I can't attack. You're good. I can't attack the other one because I don't have the reach.
Right. Need a ranged weapon.
Throw the great
Yeah.
sword.
Do you have any more moves?
Throw
Long sword.
Throw the great sword. Famous last words. I'm gonna go ahead and it's funny. I actually didn't attack with Mawbreaker. I attacked with the longsword. Yeah. All right. So that's still fine. I will pick up the body of the one next to me and then just like rip it in half and look at them and go, "This will be your end." And then that'll be my turn.
You try to intimidate them, but these things they don't appear to function by logic and reason. They have kind of this unnatural, like almost like a hive mind kind of situation where they're all intently focused on you.
Well, then this will be guilt free.
Yeah. Kyriakos.
All right. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You're going to see Kyriakos disappear under the ground. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
You can do that? That's
Are you a
cool.
Diglett?
And pop back up.
Style.
I'm going to pop back up out of the ground from over here. And I'm going to shoot my bow at this one.
Okay. Okay.
Does a 16 hit?
16 hits.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill that one. And then second attack, I'll shoot the one behind it.
Well, hold on. So you fire off. You said you were attacking this one on the right, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you fire off an arrow, and it's letting out a screech at you, and just as it screeches, Kyriakos' signature move, your arrow flies straight through the back of its throat, out the other side of its head, and pierces the heart of the one behind it, killing both of them.
Oh shit! That's awesome.
That's cool.
Then I guess I'll aim at the one back here.
Okay.
With my second attack. Hell yeah, 27.
Yeah. You blow that guy away. So you hit him center mass, and the arrow doesn't pierce through him, but he falls out of the tree, and whenever he hits the ground, you hear a sickly thump as his spine breaks whenever he hits the ground.
I was born with glass bones.
Skin. Every morning I break my arms. Every night I break my legs.
You haven't watched Mr. Glass?
Spyro protect
Yeah, right.
Hestia, and so he'll stand in front of Hestia. And guard action's a Star Wars thing, not a D&D thing, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Then he will just grapple the first target that comes within range.
Okay. Sounds good. It's their turn.
Oh.
So
That's actually strategically using grapple. And in 5th edition.
So the four remaining living creatures begin to swarm around Alcaeus.
Yes.
Surprise. So they're gonna move into position here, and they're gonna make a group attack against you.
They can try.
Getting flashbacks of last time he died.
And would you
Died,
look at
okay?
that? A natural 20.
I just take naps a lot, alright?
He's like,
All right.
I don't fall unconscious. Combat just bores me sometimes.
So unfortunately, because of minion rules, my crit doesn't matter. But I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Oh yeah, you're taking. Actually, wait, it does matter. You're gonna take 5 piercing damage and 10 poison damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Just FYI, Russ, we can see that in the thing. I don't know if that's your intention or not.
Whoops! Nope, I forgot to edit this. To
Oh,
whisper.
good.
Don't look at that. Or you can look at that. It's fine.
Can't. Paladins never fail their constitution, their saving throws.
Yeah.
What subclass is Alcaeus again?
Potion, I think.
No, Oath of the Watcher, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
it was the
right.
Watcher.
So Alcaeus, these creatures move in and they attempt to bite into you, but you're batting them away. Some of them manage to get into to like they bite your armor, but they don't pierce your flesh, and you're able to fend off their attack.
Now they're all within hitting range.
I'm
That'll
not
bring us
trapped
to
here
Cyrus.
with you. You're trapped here with me.
Exactly.
I will do Ray of Frost at. I don't know how to ping anymore.
Oh, the left click.
Left click
There you
hold.
Oh, okay, that one.
This guy over here. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll it, your attack. 23 hits, and then to roll damage, you just click Ray of Frost, where it says
Yeah.
Ray of Frost. So you quickly blast. Just the first spell that comes to mind is just the cantrips are second nature. You don't even have to think about it. But you summon some icy energy, and these spikes of ice just pierce into its flesh and just eviscerate this thing. He is super dead.
Also gonna move back.
He's actually like pinned to the tree, like the ice like
Oh, nice.
got him like
Nice.
not a voodoo doll, but what are those little where they pin up the bugs, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's just like pinned to the tree.
I love
You're gonna move back.
I love guns in video games that, like in BioShock, the
Fallout.
harpoon gun where
Oh, yeah.
you hit
Oh,
them,
yeah.
they'll stick to the wall. I love guns like that.
Yeah, developers figured out physics engines and they're like, ooh, look what we can do. You said you were gonna move, or...
Yeah, I'm gonna move back.
and then I think you can use your bonus action to direct your familiar as well.
Yes, I'm gonna just move him back with me.
Unless Merlin's sitting on top of his shoulder, in which case he moves with him.
I think he was flying around, so I'll just move him.
Slide back.
I think Merlin acts on its own. It just can't attack unless
Unless I take over it, yeah.
Yeah, unless you use your touch spell.
I have to
Other
do.
than that,
It
it
has to be
can-
touch.
Darius.
I'm going to. How high is Alcaeus in the alleged Phyrexians in the tree?
He is 10 feet up.
All right, I'm going to walk. Okay, walk underneath all of them,
Okay.
and then I'm going to. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to. I'm gonna like. Throw my hammer up as if I'm about to cast a spell, but nothing quite happens, and I'm confused. And so I do it again with a different spell, and I'm going to just go ahead and gonna cast a thunder wave on all of them. It's a 15-foot cube, which hits everybody, including Alcaeus, above me. But he has resistance to damage, so it's fine.
Yeah, I have resistance. It's fine. I'm not even worried about it.
What's it called? I'm going to snap my hammer up, and it's going to create a loud thunder wave, and I'm going to channel the electricity that kind of pulses in my shield into the attack to deal max damage, and then I'm going to cast it at a second level spell to really seal the deal. So we're going to deal 24 points of thunder damage, and they need to make a Constitution saving throw. So I believe 12 damage, even on a save, is enough to wipe them all out.
Chaos fails.
Okay, she take 24 points of thunder damage.
Cool.
Let's re-roll that
Nice.
just to mess with Russ like both times.
Good old. Yep. Hey, it's your feature, man. That's what you
Yeah.
do.
What's the range on the feature?
30
60.
feet.
60?
Hold on.
Oh, 60.
Let's see. Might be looking at the wrong one. No, it is 30 feet.
Okay.
Just
Too far away then.
Little shy.
You're
What was should I
just
take?
out of range.
Darn.
How much do I take, Phil?
You take 12
Okay.
after the half. And
So Darius unleashes this booming sound that whenever you unleash your magic, not only does it blow the three remaining living creatures out, just completely, just knocks them completely out of the tree where they go flying back and die. It also knocks a huge amount of leaves that fall to the ground, like almost like the entire left half of the tree just gets blown away. And Alcaeus
I catch Alcaeus as he falls.
catches some fireman carry style. Just like,
You just couldn't let me get my tally up, could you?
Nope.
Hmm.
But I'm more
Not-
concerned about this tree.
Well, I'm at 20 now.
Have we exited combat, or are we still in combat?
Yeah, that was the last one.
All right.
I'll
come back over.
while I'm setting him back on like his like hands and stuff, I'll go ahead and dump a cure wounds into him. We give you a little bit of HP. It's not much, but it's on his sword.
Cure wounds fist bump.
Yeah, exactly. Take the 10 health. That's basically negates all the damage I dealt to you. I think this tree, no pun intended, sapped some of my strength.
I don't feel quite as myself, yes. I think that we should possibly cut it at the roots, since they seem to bear some sort of magic in them. They seem to pulse. Although I'm much less concerned with this tree and more concerned with how far my brother has gotten with his agenda.
Well, if you guys want the tree destroyed, I can take care of the tree.
Also,
Y'all might want to get out of the tree first.
They're currently standing under it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap Darius on the shoulder and start walking out.
And
Yep.
I'll scoot a little closer, and I'll like aim at the base of the tree, and where is it?
This dude about the darkness flame the whole tree, aren't you?
Yeah.
I was about to say, I know what's coming.
I'm gonna use a firebolt, which will be
Nice.
8 plus. I can use wisdom plus spellcasting modifier. So 8, 9, 10,
Remember
11.
remember the flames don't spread.
Right, but if I hit the tree, it should take care of the tree, right?
Yeah. I mean, it'll kill the tree.
Yeah.
Has any life.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Oh wow.
I just rolled a flat 19 without my additionals.
So you see your new satyr companion pull out this lantern, like a bullseye lantern, and he opens the shutter just the tiniest amount, just a fraction of an inch, and when he does, this black jet of flame shoots out and connects with the base of the tree. And Kyriakos, you expect this to immediately set the tree ablaze, but it actually dissipates and completely like bounces off, basically.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's not good.
I get the impression that wasn't supposed to happen.
No, that wasn't supposed to happen at all. Now it's making me look bad.
He's like,
Bruh.
stand back, I got this.
Russ, can I try firebolt on it?
Sure.
I'm trying to look cool in front of my new friends.
Let me be the next failure. All right, I will try firebolt.
Go for it.
16.
So Cyrus, you also hurl a bolt of fire at it, but just as the satyr failed, yours also dissipates when it connects with the tree. Seems it has some sort of immunity to magic.
Well, now I feel a little less awkward. Thank you,
Cyrus.
Cyrus. Thank you, Cyrus.
No magic works on it, apparently.
That's well, okay. Yes, this looks like it's me and you again.
Oh, I think I got a way to make this quicker. And I whistle and I summon Crystal.
Ah, yes, Crystal. We'll fetch that token. Give me one.
Hestia's just like standing back, nervously fingering the new hole on her neck. It's her new like nervous tick.
It went from this to oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, exactly. It went from pulling her hair to just like, oh, this is actually more satisfying.
Bada boom. Okay, so this for everyone watching, this half horse elemental creature burst forth from I guess the ground. Where is it?
She could I just need water, and I always have water on me, so I basically would have just taken some water out of my water skin and tossed it.
Okay. Yeah, so Alcaeus takes his water skin and pours some of it out, but it begins to magnify in size, and this entire like 3/4 of a horse, its back legs like a wave of water, and this elemental horse bursts forward, and it lets out a whinny.
I know, it's been a while. Care for a ride?
And without hesitation, Crystal is already scooping you up with her head.
So I'm just gonna kind of ride around the tree on her, slashing at it.
Alcaeus, you gallantly dash about this tree, cutting it up as much as you can. Just slice, and the white porcelain bark is just falling away left and right. When you get around the other side here, you see that these massive twisting roots extend outwards and seem to lead north further into the forest. This is also the direction that Kyriakos earlier said that he saw the water, the ocean.
As I see this, I'm going to, as Crystal leaps over them to do a full lap, because I'm going to try and make my way back, I'm going to slice into the roots and just see what's, if anything is inside of them. I'm using Mawbreaker now. I was using my longsword before, but now I'm using Mawbreaker.
Go ahead and make an attack roll. Nice. Sweet horse voice. Thank you, Hungry Panda. 24. So you trying to sever the life that is being carried to this tree from the roots. You hack into this extrusion, and you with this magical blade, you cleave about halfway through into this, and inside is more of kind of this red, fleshy, it looks like it could be alive, but not exactly. It's a bit unusual. It's very unusual.
As I think about
Dama, what fighting style do you have?
I have. Wow, it's been a while. Great weapon
1v1
fighting.
Great weapon mastery. You can reroll 1s and 2s, which is exactly what you roll on your attack.
Oh,
a 1 and a 2.
So I
Reroll
just
2 die
my
6.
attack.
Yeah.
Well,
Wowzers.
one more damage.
That does get you up over 10. So you actually managed to slice all the way clean to the other side of this thing.
Okay.
As you sever this root, you see the tree behind you begin to fade. The white porcelain turns like a dull gray, and the fleshy redness, like coagulating blood, turns kind of an ugly maroon brown color, and you see almost within moments the life fade from this tree when it's severed.
As I get wrapped up in the philosophies of life and death and everything else that I know is lying ahead of me on my journey, I remember that I have a dying dragon turtle friend, and I check the inside of my chest plate. I look down into it. Is Aegeus in there? Is he around?
When you look into your chest plate for your faithful turtle companion, inside you find a small wood carving of a turtle.
That's sad.
It's painted to look exactly like
Oh, that's so sad. Okay. I will
cry every time.
I will be very confused as to when this all happened and kind of just reflect as I solemnly ride Crystal back to the group, and I'm just like, come on, girl.
So if it's a water elemental, instead of clip-clop noises, is it like falling raindrops sounds or something?
It sounds like crashing waves.
Nice.
Splish splosh. Yeah, her gallop is like this. It's like a mixture of like a half gallop with like a wave just coming.
Yeah,
in,
like
just
her front hooves are made of like ice, just like why her name is Crystal. So when she's coming, it sounds like crashing icicles, but then like the secondary sound you hear is like crashing waves.
Nice. I'm gonna come up and be like, that's such a pretty horse, and I'm gonna try to like pet it. That's snoot. Like you do.
I don't know, how does this noble war steed of a long generation of warriors react to being pet by people it doesn't know?
Kyriakos, make an animal handling check.
You're good at those.
Damn it!
So Kyriakos extends his hand to pet Crystal, and Crystal like immediately recoils back away from his hand. But then she kind of turns back and looks at Alcaeus for like reassurance.
I just look at what was your name again?
Kyriakos?
You're brave for attempting that. The last man who tried to touch her was bit, and then I had to kill him for trying to hit her.
Usually I have such a way with animals, but I guess that doesn't extend to one's made of water.
He is one of a kind. Much older than myself, but Crystal, let him feel you just for a moment. He has been helpful. He did save us.
And like, yeah, I'm like, who's a good girl?
Kyriakos, having some amount of experience with animals, manages to gain Crystal's trust, and she timid at first, does like the attention and the affection.
I don't know if it's trust. I think it's tolerance.
It's like, well, this does feel good, so I guess.
We need to decide what we're going to do next. We have...
The routes lead to the water, Darius. I saw it for myself. So, it seems that the way out is also the solution for this island's problems. If we're here, it's because it is the will of the gods, as is all things that we do.
Does that mean it's the will of the gods that we met this trio?
I still don't trust the Leonin, but the other two seem to be okay. They did help us in combat. I don't think they stand a chance against us in combat, so I'm not too worried about them betraying us.
Cyrus, what do you think?
I agree. If they become an issue, we can take care of them.
Well, I don't think that'll be an issue
like
unless you guys attack us first.
I'd hope you wouldn't attack us in turn, but we should get moving.
I don't know, don't think I've introduced myself yet, but I go by Darius. I'm a worshipper of the storm god. Though I'm sure you might have figured that out from the loud boom.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I'm sure you've figured out mine.
Yes. Karametra, was it?
Karamitra?
Yes. She's a good goddess, from what I've heard.
I would hope so. I'd hope I'm serving the good goddess.
Well, if I might be so bold, I could use about a little bit of a rest before we trek onto this woods. I think this tree sapped much of my strength that I need to recover.
Should we rest somewhere else, though? I don't think it's smart to stay by the tree.
I agree. We do not know if this thing can spawn these beasts.
Hopefully we cut its lifeblood, but I'm not against going back to the tree line and, I don't know, perhaps resting a little bit and getting to know our new comrades.
Yeah.
Then we'll head back to the tree line, or I'll head back to the tree line. I like away from the roots tree line.
Right. I know what you mean. So you're now much larger party heads back and tries to. Are you guys just gonna just kind of not make camp, but you're just sitting around having a rest?
Yep. I need an hour rest.
I do too.
Cyrus.
Yes.
Do you have a way to contact Ramses or maybe Dandelion? There must be a way we can reach our comrades. We need to know what their status is.
Mm-hmm. I can't say I do right now.
Very well then.
Flipping through spellbook. I don't have one.
The spell you want is not within my reach yet. Wait 2 more levels.
The spell.
What's it called? You could get it right now. Next time. Actually, I don't know if wizards can learn sending.
Oh yeah, they can learn almost anything.
Yeah.
Just not holy.
That's what you.
Natures.
Yeah. But
All right,
yeah, we
so
definitely need to get contact with them.
We're going to take a heroic long rest, which is only an hour. So everyone, go ahead and adjust your character sheets. And we're actually, I think we're. Do we want to take a 5-minute break also?
That's fine with me.
IRL rest.
I'm sure my dog.
10-minute, but yes, that's fine.
10 minutes break. Excuse me. Yep. So stay put, everybody. We're going to take a quick bathroom break, and we'll be right back.
We'll be right after these messages.
Hey, we're back. What up, everybody? Sorry, that took a little longer than we expected.
But we're all here now, and that's what's important.
Yeah. We had our short rest. Characters had their short rest. And
long rest.
Long rest, excuse me. And before we get back to the adventures of this party, we're going to take a little detour and see what some of these other characters from the Beyond Death campaign are up to. So Kyle, as your awareness comes to you, you find yourself in a temple of Heliod. Your muscles ache as you haul yourself off the floor. Next to you, you hear the sound of a familiar satyr. Oh, brother, my head is killing me. Oh, hey there, cowboy. Looks like we made it to the other side. Where the heck are we? You see around you an elegant temple of clean marble, large vertical columns wrapped in greenery. You and Basil are at the foot of a large staircase, which leads up to a courtyard, and you can see a handful of people dressed in simple white togas milling about.
I have no idea where we are. I don't know. Perhaps this was my goal all along. I'm going to stand up and help Basil up and just begin walking up the stairs. Are you going to come with me, Basil, or are you going to go your own way?
Yeah, I'm sticking with you, cowman. Wherever we are, it sure is better than where we came from. I'll tell you that much.
That is probably true.
I could go for a bite to eat. Now that we're back in the land of the living, I have got just the most rumbling in my tumbling.
So do I. But I need to do this first.
So you, when you ascend the stairs, you find yourself in a pretty spacious courtyard area, and there's, like I said, there's a few people kind of milling about. They haven't seemed to have noticed you yet, but they, some of them are carrying scrolls, others carrying like vessels of water.
I look around, incredibly lost. And I'll head to the center, perhaps toward an altar, or looking for religious insignias anywhere around here that might prompt me or tell me where I am.
You wander kind of sheepishly into the center of the courtyard, and one of the people milling about notices you, and he's an older guy, kind of hair thinning on top, starting to get gray at the temples, but still pretty spry, not quite like hunched over with a cane or anything. And he's just like, "Oh, hello there. Are you lost?"
I don't know. Where am I?
Well, you're in a temple of Heliod, my child.
Well, then I suppose I'm not lost. I'll kind of move my arm around and show him this amulet here. I think I was given this and told to come here.
Oh, that's a curious-looking amulet. I'm surprised you didn't know where you were based off our. How did you come here? Did you walk?
In a manner of speaking.
He says,
No. Is there a high priest around?
Why, actually, I am one of the deacons here. I am not the sole leader of this establishment, but we rather prefer to disperse our leadership.
Oh, well, in that case, about 10 minutes ago, I was just in the underworld.
He looks pretty shocked, and he's just like, "The underworld? And now you're here?"
Yes, apparently. I'm slightly as confused as you are, but I believe Heliod sent me here, brought me here. I'm not sure which.
Heliod's light guides us all home, and you were wise to follow it. Come, bring yourself in. Let's get you cleaned up and get you a bite to eat. You're safe here now. Hopefully your troubles are over for the time being. And he kind of like ushers you into a room that's just off of the main courtyard area. And Basil's just like, you got any lamb? Chases off after you.
I'll follow the man.
Okay, so that's going to conclude that little side scene here. But now we're going to jump over to... Just trying to find it in my notes here. Maybe I didn't do that. So, Anthony.
That's my name.
You awaken and feeling quite disoriented. You look over next to you and you see a Nyx-born centaur, Jama. And however, Anthony, you are in the body of your naiad Daedymedes. And the two of you kind of come to consciousness around the same time, and you look around and you're in a very strange looking place. It has kind of the like shape of a temple, but instead of columns and marble, it's like made of starlight and clouds.
Do I know where we are?
Yes, you are in the halls of the Watchers.
Oh, okay. I have not been here in some time. Hello.
Hi. Where are we? And how did I get here?
Is that what I think it is? I'm looking at the bow he has.
Maybe? What do you think it is?
Well, if you're a champion, then you're clearly worthy to be here. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm Nylea's champion. Where is here?
This is the Temple of the Watchers. Sworn to observe all things that take place, all machinations of the universe. Information is gathered, sorted, and then retained. Some of it even hidden for the greater good.
Interesting. But what am I doing here? Last I remember, I was with my friends, and we were on an island filled with satyrs.
The last I remember was crashing the gates of the underworld and escaping. So, I am as lost as you are.
Should we maybe find somebody?
I'm sure they'll find us. After all, we're already being watched.
And as he says that, so like the floor is like made of like these solidified clouds, and the clouds begin to kind of bulge, and this large, like it looks like a well, so like a circular like a cylinder, but it's instead of like a like a well that's typically like a foot or two across, this thing is like probably 8 feet across, this massive well, also made of the kind of made of clouds, and it juts up from the floor, rising maybe about almost 3 feet vertical from the floor, and inside the well it seems to be brimming with the inky starlight of the Nyx, forming like this smooth pool over the top of it. And once it settles into place, you see a ripple emanating from the center of the pool flow outwards, and the shape changes. Instead of starlight and darkness, it begins to form a vision. You are looking at an island, as if viewing it from a bird's eye view, and the vision of this island begins to push inward, and you get closer over the treetops, and after some time, slowly but surely, you find yourself hovering, your viewpoint hovering in this reflecting pool just above the party of the main Alcaeus, Darius, Cyrus, Hestia, and Kyriakos.
Well, I see some of my friends there.
And I see some of my comrades.
Oh, so the satyr, little dragonling, and the girl, those are your friends? And that other
friends
satyr guy?
is a a strong word that is temporally and carelessly used by creatures who breathe oxygen for approximately 80 years. But yes, these are people that I have traveled with and in long length and completed many a great deed with. I do have some fondness for them.
So they're good people then? I don't need to worry about my friends being with them?
Oh no, and I've known of your kin and ilk for some time. I fear they're much more of a threat to your friends than they are to anyone else. After all, they are going to be dragging them into some insanity. They are on quite the mission.
Well, I hope they'll be alright. The mission we were on, like you said, is a pretty dangerous one.
Yeah, but I think everyone here is capable. I've seen nothing that tells me the otherwise.
So, I guess Nylea has something else in store for me since I'm here instead of with them?
Why don't you ask her? In these halls, the gods hear all.
I will, like, sit down cross-legged, you know, and, like, try to make a prayer to Nylea.
Yeah, you look around and the temple, except for you two, the temple appears completely empty. There doesn't seem to be any signs of life or even really like it's just kind of this one central chamber. Doesn't appear to be like any doors or windows leading elsewhere. So, trying to reach out, you sit down and pray to Nylea, and what do you say? What do you ask?
What am I to do now? Now that I seem to have split with the people I was supposed to go after the bulwark with. Do you have something else I need to be doing?
And you hear a sharp but not angry voice say, "For now, you must watch and wait. I will call upon you when the time is right."
If that is what I am supposed to do, then that is what I will do.
Insane. We return now to our main party of characters, and you guys are just kind of sitting around, drinking out of some water skins, eating some rations. Darius, Cyrus, and Alcaeus are now that the adrenaline of combat has kind of worn down a little bit. You realize how ravenous you are.
Me and Spyro
just,
don't eat anything because we don't have to.
Yeah.
What's it called? So at the beginning of the long rest, I still had my detect magic up. Did anything ping off of our newcomers?
Well, Kyriakos and Spyro both are pretty much entirely magical. They have I guess enchantment. Seems to be an aura of enchantment about them. And Hestia also has a magical glow to her. However, hers is a is it restoration? Am I mixing that up with Skyrim?
Probably.
What's the one for
Celestial?
No, I'm trying the spell schools in D&D.
Yeah.
Abjuration?
Abjuration is defensive.
Wizards don't get access to healing spells normally.
Yeah.
So they don't have.
There might not be a spells. There might not all magical effects have skills.
Evocation.
Conjuration, divination, enchantment, illusion, invocation, and necromancy.
Okay.
Probably evocation.
No, evocation is
yeah.
like fireball, lightning bolt.
Yeah, kind of a mixture of evocation and abjuration. It's kind of a blend. And then the Watcher has an aura of conjuration.
Any magic items stick out?
Yes.
My
Hestia.
lantern and my loot both light up. Oh, and I have like a little obsidian piece on me that would also light up. Do magic spell scrolls light up? Spell scrolls? Because I still have those 2 meshed spell scrolls also.
Let's say my gloves use Spirit of Dying, so that's technically necromancy, but I don't know if you would want to describe it as necromantic.
It's like a good necromancy.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's like the enchantments on the gloves, right? It's still an enchantment. It just casts a. Maybe. I don't know. Enchantment?
I guess, speaking of my loot, I could be playing mine and Hestia's tale through the underworld during this long rest. My instrument of illusion.
We're on the highway to hell.
Give them the spark notes of our journey through the underworld, just so we have something to talk about.
Yeah,
So
he plays a little ditty telling you about how he woke up in a shallow grave, boarded a boat with some strangers, and went on a magical journey to meet with the Lord of the Underworld. Steal the darkness flame.
West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Spent most of my days.
what a peculiar story, but honestly, not crazy surprising. Given our adventure.
Alcaeus is just Crystal's laying down, so like she's resting, and Alcaeus is just laying against her. And he's actually laying down too. He has his eyes closed, but he's just listening.
Wow, I'm putting
What,
on a performance.
What are your two? You two. What's your goal now? Now that you've come back from the dead.
Well, Perforos had sent me on a mission through the underworld, which is how I got there. So, I guess I need to find him. I was kind of surprised he wasn't here when I woke up, but this island isn't where he killed me, so I also don't know why I'm here.
Russell, I have a cool question.
What's up?
Isn't Perforos the god of the forge that we ended up pissing off in session 1?
That is correct.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify.
I think it was like session 3, but yeah, it was super early on.
Yeah, you pissed him off, and you also kicked his champion into the lava, if memory serves.
That's right.
This one's still breathing.
His his first champion. Now this is the new champion.
Actually, technically,
the old one.
Technically, I don't breathe.
Kyriakos doesn't know he's version 2.
Yeah, he doesn't know he's 2.0.
Yep, that is factual.
Okay. Okay, so just wondering if Perforos has switched sides or if he's capping and this is a sleeper agent.
What about you, Hestia? What goals do you have?
Well, that's kind of what I need to figure out, I guess, because after given a second chance, there must be a reason for it.
Well, our mission is pretty straightforward. It has been ordained by the gods themselves, and we seek one of the relics of Eros. I would say you guys are welcome to join, with the permission of Alcaeus and Cyrus.
They are welcome to travel with us as long as they prove themselves and they do not act as dead weight on the journey.
They should come in handy for our adventure?
Me and Spyro.
What
were
all
good
can
in
you
the
two
fight.
do?
Me and Spyro are used to scrapping with drakes and small dragons. Our adventures through the underworld allowed us to fight some other creatures too. But we're pretty good in a fight. I'm pretty good with my bow, as you saw.
Gestures
Nope,
to the
completely
dead
missed
creatures.
I usually act as a sort of protector, make sure everybody's healthy, everyone else is well up and fighting. I do a decent amount of damage myself. But
If you can heal, LKS will need you very much so through the rest of this journey.
I promise I can do that.
I know some spells as well, but they're all utility for very specific occasions. Or purposes, not occasions.
Well, it sounds like we should follow the routes, head to the ocean side. We had a ship once upon a time, but the gods know how long ago that was. Or where it is.
Well, let's move forward together and we'll see if together is where we're supposed to be or if we have to separate at some point.
I agree.
It works for
Yep.
me.
If this is fated by the gods, the last thing I want to do is piss them off.
So as you guys are getting up, collecting your things, getting ready to set out to follow these routes and try to piece together some semblance of where or when you are, Cyrus, in front of you, this, at first you think it's an illusion. This like blue ghost-like figure begins to form in front of you. But after a moment, you realize that it is actually the shape of your former teacher.
Oh,
And
cool.
this blue projection, kind of like fading in and out a bit, says, "Hello, can you hear me?"
Yes, I can hear you.
Ah, good, my pupil. It is good to see you safe. I apologize. It has been long since I last reached out, but running an entire plane is exhausting.
How long's it been since we last talked?
Oh, he looks at his he looks at his magical watch. Long, much too long. Listen, there isn't much time. I have a message I must deliver. Great danger is soon to be headed your way. A terrible foe that could threaten the very multiverse as we know it. I must remain here. Ravnica needs me, but you must awaken your spark, and quickly. Once you've done so, return to me here in Ravnica. I can't guarantee we'll be safe, but we can face this foe together.
What kind of foe is this?
He looks very grim, and he's just said something unlike either of us have ever faced. Remember, Cyrus, knowledge is power. And he fades from existence. Knowledge is power, refuses to elaborate.
Doesn't give you the knowledge.
Very helpful, I know.
So I grab one of the books and throw it where he was.
Motherfucker, always running off.
Oh, man.
I'll be back.
Cyrus, who was that?
That was my master.
He didn't look like one of the gods in Theros.
I don't serve any god.
Alcast is trying very hard to ignore this entire event.
I don't believe it.
Doesn't even want to acknowledge anything just happened.
Go stand right next to LKS and wrap my arm around him.
Hello, Cyrus.
Cyrus,
Hello.
are you a... How do you pronounce it? Chronogist or something?
Yes. Yes, I am.
I remember reading something in the underworld with your name on it. Or maybe it wasn't of your writing, but you were mentioned.
Really? Do tell.
I can't really remember the details, but that's what helped us get through what we knew what was guarding the gate to the underworld.
Hmm. Never been to the underworld.
Just a connection that I've made.
You're not even from Theros. There's no guarantee you could go to the underworld.
I know.
He doesn't
No.
even go.
I can go to any realm I want to go. Don't be trying to limit me right now.
I go anywhere.
I meant when you
any
die.
when I want.
I'm gonna go there
Wait,
just to
my
spite you.
daddy. You want to watch me go to the underworld? I'll go right now.
Take it with
Wanna
me.
watch me do it again?
What do you think the threat your master mentioned has anything to do with the tree we just saw? I've never
I don't-
seen creatures like that on Theros.
It's a possibility.
Well, there's
Well,
no
that'd
doubt in
be-
my mind that we need to protect Theros, especially against threats that can apparently travel the realms.
Agreed. It's not a power
Which
that
makes
random should have.
One
which makes it
step
more
at a
important that we
time.
find this bulwark.
Yes, I agree. One step at a time. I'm sure with the power of the gods on our sides, and these realms, and planes, whatever it is you call this blasphemy, shouldn't be much more difficult.
Precisely. Let's follow these routes, head to the water, and hopefully away off this island.
That would be nice.
So as you guys begin to cross the clearing, heading back to the other side of where the roots extend into the forest, you see another group of creatures crawl out of the tree line. This time, they seem to be more organized and ready for you.
Okay, so just charges right in. Doesn't even think twice about it. How far am I getting before we roll initiative?
I'll give you 20 feet.
All right.
All right,
I'll
roll
take
initiative. Roll initiative.
I almost rolled a 0. So disappointed.
I rolled a 2,
Tragic.
pal.
Ooh, spicy. I be doing a lot with zero to my initiative.
Yeah.
And then +5 from alert.
Even when I roll high, I still roll below everybody else.
It's all right, man.
Is that
It
everybody?
balances everything out.
Okay, so looks like you're going first this time.
Finally.
I have Lawbreaker out.
Yep. Mounted
I
up.
for-
Got the
Yeah.
strap.
How far is I can't find.
Oh,
Crystal.
yeah. It's under. Hold on. Let me actually pull that out for you.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. I just wanted to check her movement speed.
I want to say 40.
I think that's what it was too. Oh wow, that's right.
Oh,
Okay, so it's only 20.
20
That's
on
right.
land, 50
That's
in
right.
the water.
That's right. That's the trade-off. All right. So I'm going to move 20 with her and then leap from her. And then
Can she take the dash action?
she can, but wouldn't that wait, is her dash action separate from mine?
Yeah, mounts get their own action.
I'm actually not really familiar with the mounted combat rules. Okay.
Basically,
They're pretty
you
bad.
can dash or dodge or disengage with her action.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and charge full dash into them to do the 40. And then I will go ahead and take a swipe at this one here with Mawbreaker.
Go him.
Reckless attack.
Yeah, basically.
Oh god, a paladin multi-classing with barbarian. Jesus.
Smites aren't casting spells.
Roll damage.
Can I
Reroll the 2.
2? Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, you got 12 damage.
So you come in and you cut the first one's head clean off, and your sword just keeps going like a hot knife through butter and slices like 3/4 of the way through the other one's chest and takes out these first 2 here.
Cool. I'm gonna attack this one now. Second attack. Do, 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 do.
11 does not hit.
Oh wow, okay.
So you go to you pull your blade around like carrying the momentum behind you, and you go to swing again, but this time the creature jumps back, and they're not super tough, but they are kind of they're kind of Dexy boys. They're very spry, and so he manages to slip just under your blade.
Fair enough.
And if that's your turn, we'll go to
Yeah, I don't have any bonus actions.
Hestia.
Okie dokie, I'm going to use my guiding bolt. And I'll hit one in the back.
Nice.
I'll hit,
In the
I'll hit,
ranks.
Okay.
yeah, I'll hit this one in the back. Alright.
21 hits.
21.
Come on. Hey.
So as you summon your magic, these spectral they're like tree branches, but they're sharpened like javelins with thorns sticking all out, and you send it full send, and it goes flying and impales the thing straight through the chest, and it's like piked to the ground for a second before the magic fades and it collapses in a heap.
Nice.
For my bonus action, I will. Can I do my spiritual weapon, or do I have to cast a cantrip to do that?
You have to do a
you
cantrip.
Yeah, I gotta do a cantrip.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that extended to first level. I will instead use Karamitras of Odie, just have +1 AC.
There you go.
So
And
once
I will
again,
mo-
your spectral vines surround you, protecting you.
I'll move up a little. Yeah, that's good.
As she walks forward, instead of striding normally, she kind of like the roots pick you up, and you kind of you kind of like glide across them like Iceman, kind of doing
That's
like a
cool.
little
That's
surf
cool.
on it. Kyriakos.
We're gonna scoot over one and aim at this one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Send it. Yeah.
Launched, dude.
So-
I rolled max.
Yep. So right center mass, it bursts through the first one's stomach and embeds the second one right in the crotch,
Gross.
or where their crotch would be if they had one.
If they had any.
If I had one.
And then
This is where I would keep my genitals if I had them.
If I had any. Any amorphous D&D villain.
and then we're gonna disappear under the ground and reappear right here to make our second shot hitting this one.
It's so weird that you can do that.
It's cool.
It's so cool, but it's so weird.
22 for 6 damage.
Okay, you
That's
lined it
pretty
up
good.
to-
You hit pretty hard.
So you tag this one, but you're firing like just as you're coming out of the ground, you sink into the ground and you pop up, and you're firing like as soon as you depart from the ground. So it actually doesn't quite hit a lethal. I mean, it hits a lethal shot, but it doesn't quite pierce through.
Yeah.
This one gets it like in the leg, but the shock from getting its leg basically blown off sends enough damage to it to cripple it lethally.
Nice. And Spyro, go assist our new Triton friend. So he'll go 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. So he'll use his action to dash. 10, 15, 20, 25. And he'll stand right next to Alcaeus, ready to scrap. And that will be my turn.
There it is.
You can go pretty far.
30 feet of movement. Oh, wait, no.
Yeah.
Is it 40 feet? No, it doesn't matter. I still would have had to dash.
That's
Thought it
still
was-
pretty cool, though.
Us. I thought it was only 25.
Yep, 40 feet.
Schmovin'.
Darius just fireballs us. the Drake. Well, I mean,
Actually,
Darius
a
would-
fireball would work in my favor because I have immunity to fire on Spyro.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say,
don't.
he
I
wouldn't
don't
know
fireball.
That. He doesn't
Um,
know that either.
What's it called? I'm going to walk up, stretching and yawning. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm just gonna take the dodge action as I yell to Alcaeus, you got this. And then
I already
and then
knew
pass-
that.
and then I'll pass turn.
Did you cast bless or no?
No, I took the dodge
Okay.
action.
Okay, you gave fake motivational speech.
Yeah.
It's not a fake motivational speak. It's a real motivational speech.
It was a bardic inspiration without the inspiration.
Fair.
Yep. Go take a level on Bard real quick.
So they're gonna surround you.
Oh, okay.
Two of them scuttle behind you, and we're gonna go ahead and make a group attack against Crystal.
How dare you?
So I have no respect. So that's 5 piercing and 2 poison, and I need her to make a Constitution saving throw.
Wait, they
So
hit?
annoying.
Yeah.
I have a question.
What's up?
Can I silvery barbs their attack?
You can, but I will tell you, it did have advantage.
Right. That doesn't matter. I don't think.
Do you want me
It
to just
doesn't
make
force you to reroll the
it?
attack roll. You reroll one die, not both of them.
Okay.
Is it his choice? Can he
So-
choose the lower?
I don't think so. I can throw it in the chat. Though. What's it called?
I mean, Crystal rolled pretty good. She rolled an 11, so.
What's it called? That's a. There you go. You can read silvery barbs. I only know it's weird because it's a group attack. But...
How does the silvery barb interact with advantage?
I believe you keep the high roll from the advantage, and then as if you'd only rolled one die, and then silvery barbs forces you to re-roll that die 20, and then use the lower of the two.
Gotcha.
So turns advantage into a disadvantage, basically.
In a roundabout way.
Russell's about to be like, and silvery barbs just got banned.
What is Crystal's AC?
Good sir, her AC is 13.
That's
13.
close.
Well, I rolled an 11, so I guess I missed.
Well, it's unfortunate.
As they go to surround here, I just kind of like spin my my hammer real quick, all Thor like, and a bolt of lightning just like shoots out from them and just kind of circles all 4 of them, kind of setting them off their rocker a little bit. And then as it makes the last one, you see the bolt of lightning kind of shoot directly into Alcaeus as he gets energized by this electric energy, giving him that advantage on his next attack roll, ability check or saving throw.
Okay, I know this is probably gonna look like I'm punishing Kyle for doing that, but I swear I was planning on doing this anyways. So, Darius, as you're reacting with your silvery barbs, you feel the ground in front of you. You feel like a light tremor, and from beneath the ground, more mites burrow their way, breaking through this to the surface.
Hey, Russell, don't forget, I have a 60-foot tremor sense.
Oh, so you felt them coming too. Yeah, I guess they would have been on the edge of your range, but my bad.
Big guy that's not the Triton, we have more incoming. And then they pop out of the ground.
Are you talking to me, the person who just saw them come up out of the ground?
I was
He
like,
does it like right before.
yeah,
Okay, so it's just like,
because I would have sensed them coming, so I was giving you the heads up, so you're not surprised.
more to kill.
That's why I took the dodge action.
Alright, so I do, or I guess I can use the other 20. No, you know what? We'll say because they were outside of your tremor sense. All right, so these 3 will have to dash. Okay, so hold on. Let's start with these 3 that are right engaged with you, Darius. They're going to make a group attack against you. They have disadvantage because you're dodging.
Yes.
They're going to attempt to bite you. I'm going to roll a 14, which I am fairly confident does not hit you.
Does not.
And then the rest of them are going to use their action to dash and get into melee with that.
Oh.
We're going to dash here.
Wow.
All right, but that's their... Oh, no, wait, they can dash as a bonus action. Let's go.
That's
Oh my
fucked.
god.
I forgot.
Up.
This is why we read our character sheets, people. They are aggressive. Okay, so in that case, I'm going to make attacks against Hestia and Kyriakos.
Be
Let's go.
aggressive.
Yeah, okay. So, Hestia... 17. Does that hit you?
Ah, luck.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Try again.
Okay. 15 this time.
Oh, phew, I'm good.
So these things come out of the ground and they're like full sprinting at you, and they're like, you for a moment, like, you see them breaking through your defenses, but then you kind of like snap back to the present, and your vines of Karamitra get in the way and interpose themselves between you and the creatures, protecting you from their attacks.
Snap back to reality.
Oh,
Goes gravity, and that's a 21 against Kyriakos.
Holy hell. Well, that hits. But just barely.
So,
What's your AC?
Cyrus, a rewind?
16.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. Let's rewind.
Okay, so
what's
with
your
that
AC?
ability,
20?
with that, can you post that ability real quick, just so I remember? I don't remember if I get advantage still or not.
Hold on.
They have pack tactics.
Who has
Are
pack
you-
tactics? Oh, they have pack tactics. Okay.
Yeah, they have aggressive and pack tactics.
God dang.
that's so
There you go.
good.
I know. They're the best minions that ever minioned. Okay, you can exert limited control over time. As a reaction, after you or a creature you can see within 30 feet makes an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you force the creature to reroll. Make this decision whether you see if it passes or fails. Target must use it. Okay, so it's basically exactly the same as Silvery Barbs, just
Yep.
a class feature version. Damn, dude. My advantage means nothing. But I'm gonna.
But we're using resources though. That's what's important.
Yeah, exactly. That's okay. I I remember the heroicness of this party. I remember how bullshit it is.
Yeah, you get to go. Not only do we get to go Nova every fight, you get to go Nova every fight.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be a 26 to hit with the reroll.
Oh my god, I made it worse for you. I'm sorry.
I'm helping.
As long as it's not a crit.
So
man.
that is a 5 piercing damage, 6 poison damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw.
I have resistance to poison and bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
Oh
about
shit!
that? It's pretty good.
He said
That's
get
a lot of
good.
resistances.
Is the Constitution saving throw effect a poison debilitating effect? Because I do have advantage on saves to being
Yes.
poisoned.
Yes, so you will have advantage.
13.
Dang, but you still failed.
Dang it.
Rough. So they swarm upon you, and although their teeth don't hurt, they do manage to sink their little spiny teeth in.
Oh, we lost Shama again.
Hello? Oh,
Oh,
I thought it was
so
me.
so did I.
I'm just gonna keep going until he gets back. Yeah, so these things they sink your teeth into you, and although they don't deal as much damage because your flesh is bolstered with the resistance. Yes, this black fluid seems to seep its way into the cracks in your armor. So you are poisoned. You can repeat the save at the end of your turn. And don't fail again, or something bad might happen.
Oh no. So
Or do fail again and discover it.
Or yeah.
So resistance damage is rounded down, right, Kyle? So that 5 damage becomes 2 damage.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
So then I took 5 damage.
It's 5 piercing and 6 poison.
Yep. I thought it was reversed, but either way, I'm resistant to both.
Yeah, because I think your anvil rot gives you the resistance to poison, right?
Yes.
What's giving you resistance to the bludgeoning, slashing, piercing? Or is that the rock?
Yeah, it's that obsidian sliver.
Bro, that thing's like a legendary magic item. Holy
It
crap.
really is.
That's pretty good.
I believe it's non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. I'd have to relook at it.
That's important. That's a very important distinction.
Resistance bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magical attacks. However, he is vulnerable to thunder damage. There is the offset there.
Oh!
Yeah. Yeah. Darius is like, just gonna put that in my notes.
But his character
No,
didn't know
it says-
that.
He doesn't know that. Yeah, he doesn't know. It's not metagame.
That's not-
Okay. That's the end of my turn. So it's Cyrus's turn.
Okay, how do you draw a 40-foot cube on this map?
Oh my.
I got you, homie. What color should I make it?
Any color you want. I'm colorblind, so it really doesn't matter to me.
Same, bro.
I forgot.
My
I'm gonna
brother.
go
My brother in
white.
blindness.
That's 40 foot. Well, not in diameter, but on a
Where?
side.
I can't see what you made.
He hasn't made it yet.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Can you move it over 1? No, too much.
Oh, sorry.
He just meant left, not up.
Yeah, and I guess down 1.
He's trying to get all that hit Hestia, I think.
He's trying to get all
Yeah.
his allies in it.
I'm not trying to get my allies. I'm trying to get the
Oh.
enemies.
Okay.
No, I know. I'm just.
All right, and I'm gonna cast slow.
Oh,
Oh
hell.
shit.
Ooh. Yowies. Oh, 6 creatures of your choice. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Within a 40-foot cube.
Well, there's more
So-
than 6 in there.
So yeah, there's 8 total. So I guess pick 2 to not hit with it.
Let's do 3 around Hestia.
Okay.
And 2 on Darius, and 1 on Kyriakos, right?
Kyriakos is how you say
Kyriakos,
his
there we
name.
go. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make my saves now. These are wisdom saves.
I was like looking at my spells earlier. I was like, I wonder if I'm ever gonna be able to use this. I'm like, oh, it's perfect timing.
Perfect.
And it says your DC is 14. Is that accurate?
Mine?
Yeah,
that can't be right.
that sounds low.
Nope, that's about right.
Yeah.
I think we all have 16 in our highest stats, 16 or 17.
Okay, so all of them failed except for one of the ones by Darius. So we'll say it was this one, this one, this one, and these three.
Only one of them was affecting. He chose that were at me, Russell.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you highlighted 7 there.
There you go.
Okay, in that case, so this one is failed. Okay, all right. So I think we're all.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, perfect. So, so Cyrus, he extends his hand, and the area in that box, everyone can see like, everything begins to like distort, and like it gets weird for a minute. You can see like the grass like that was blowing from the wind begin to like almost like so slow it's like barely even moving. It almost looks like time is frozen, and you can see that the 6 creatures that were affected, their movements like have been like someone just put them on like the super slow-mo, like they're moving a half, maybe even a quarter as fast as they were moving before. Like just like you guys feel like you're fucking Quicksilver in that, that one scene, like compared to how slow they're moving. Yeah, not bad.
Perfect time to use that spell. I'm probably never gonna use it again.
That was a good one.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good even on just solo bosses. It's still good.
On a boss,
What?
it makes sense, but like a regular single enemy, it would be kind of overkill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys hear the JoJo's clock ticking.
Break down.
All right. Anything else? Movement?
I am
Merlin?
gonna move back behind this thing. I can't draw.
Maybe they'll attack the Watcher instead of me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stand right here.
You gonna move Merlin around? Is he just
Yeah,
chilling there?
let's let's go fly straight up.
Okay. So that's 60 feet.
Yeah. Or let's do 30 and just kind of move him forward a little bit, so he's kind of flying over everyone else. Where'd that
You want
roll?
to put him like right there?
Yeah.
But he's 30 feet up. Okay.
Yes. Perfect.
I'm gonna put this.
It's cool that you have like the little label next to it.
Yeah, the height one.
Yeah.
Just for clarity, just so since we're viewing this in 2 dimensions, helps everyone, mostly me, remember where everything is.
It's very helpful.
Okay, that's gonna put us at the top of the round with Alcaeus.
So Alcaeus is just gonna drive Lawbreaker down into the one in front of him. And he's especially angry because they tried to attack Crystal.
Don't forget you have advantage on this first attack roll.
Oh, do I?
Oh, thank God.
Yes.
Oh!
My
The
silvery
silver
barbs gave
barbs.
you advantage.
Oh,
So-
that's true, huh?
It's better than the, or
Ooh.
worse than the one, because now he can't take inspiration.
Yeah, no dice. You go to swing, and the illumination that's coming off the silvery barbs actually kind of like almost acts as like a deterrent or like a warning to them.
Alright.
Are you going to
I'm-
make me clean up for your Alcaeus?
I just get really angry and I swing again.
That hits.
Oh, so close to max.
Your anger drives your blade through the first one, skewering it, and manages to skewer the second one. You've got both of them shish kebabbed on your blade before they slide off.
And Crystal can attack too, right?
No,
No.
controlled
So-
mounts can't attack.
yeah.
Oh, that sucks, bro.
Yeah, I think you can like use your action to make her attack, but like obviously that's so not worth it.
That
You can
sucks
make
No,
her-
that's just ranger stuff.
You can make her
Oh, okay.
disengage though, so you can move without being attacked.
I don't want that. All right. Well, I'm just gonna bonus action Divine Favor my sword.
Ooh, what's that? That sounds cool.
So
Sounds like a
I
spike.
basically like raise Mawbreaker above my head, and then I just go. I'll share the thing in the chat. I don't know why my browser's loading so slow today.
You need,
Chrome
to,
is always
Oh.
fucky for me.
you need to pause the prawn you're downloading.
Wow,
You're so funny.
Hot satyrs in your area.
Oh my. Don't we know he's trying to avoid that? Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
So if Kyriakos is a construct, does that mean he's like a real doll?
Oh god, bro.
Hurry and find it before this conversation gets more cursed.
Alright. I can't, it's not on my, it's on my D&D Beyond sheet, but it's not on my
It just gives you the
Roll20
extra
sheet.
radiant. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to say anything?
Yes, I go, I always guide my blade, thus I guide my mind. And then I just raise the blade, and as I raise it up, you just watch as, like, watery tendrils, like, shoot up from around Crystal, and then it goes into the blade, swirls around it, and then solidifies into, like, a very beautiful blue sheen over the blade.
It looks kind of like Sting a little bit. It's like it's got that icy blue glow to it.
Yeah.
Ooh, except the longsword version. Okay, that'll bring us to Hestia.
Great sword version.
Sorry,
Boy.
greatsword.
I am going to cast.
I don't know why I thought Mawbreaker was a longsword.
It's a Dragon Slayer great sword.
Sounds like a greatsword.
Let's do Spirit Guardians.
Nice.
No, now
No
we're
damage,
cooking.
but-
Oh, geez.
No
But it's
damage, but
AoE.
I meant to. There we go.
So 15-foot radius.
Yes. And I'm going to move.
I will take my attack of opportunity. Thank you.
They're slowed though.
That's
Can't take
right.
reactions.
Dang.
That's clutch.
No attack of opportunity for me. I actually like
Sucks
slowed
to
it.
suck.
Yeah, you can't use
So
reactions.
is -2 AC, no action or bonus, and no reaction.
welcome.
Brutal. Oof. And then I make my save and take the damage on my turn, right?
Yeah.
The start of my turn. Okay. Cool.
And I'll say, Darius, you could leave these ones to me. As the vines are slowly wrapping around them.
Very well.
Yeah, the magic like glowing vines that are enshrouding her begin to expand into this like whirlwind of thorny like a thorny whirlwind that surrounds her, and it although they're passing through her allies, not harming them, they are whacking the evil creatures that you're fighting with.
They're gonna give him a
Beautiful.
nice hug.
Kyriakos.
We are gonna go underground. And then pop back up over here. And I'm assuming
So-
they can't get the attack of opportunity because I was still within 5 feet when I went underground, right?
So even though you can burrow, I think they do still get the opportunity attack.
But you would have to leave the 5-foot radius first, right?
Well, because you got to go down 5 feet into the ground, right?
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not teleporting. You're
Yeah.
just borrowing.
So these three, though obviously the one that's slow doesn't, but these three will get the opportunity.
Would it count as like getting some cover since there's less of me to try to hit?
Let me see what I
Attack of opportunities don't trigger until you leave. You don't leave the area yet.
Let's see what I rolled.
This music reminds me of RuneScape.
That's
Super
what I was
hard.
thinking.
Right?
Yep.
No, they actually missed, so it doesn't even matter.
Technically, one of them couldn't attack,
Yeah, I know. Well, they attack as a group.
but one of them can't take a reaction.
They suck as a group.
I know. I'm saying the three of them that
okay.
attack together. So you descend into the ground using your Earth Glide ability, and they all pounce on you, attempting to bite you, but you slip into the ground just a little too quick for them, and they face plant, and they bite nothing but dirt.
I pop back up and I'm like, surprise, motherfucker! And I aim at the one that was around me that's slowed.
This guy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I'm going to have Spyro use his reaction to infuse my attack, which adds a die 6 to damage.
How far does he have to be from you to do that?
Within 30 feet, and I'm at 25 feet.
Wow,
Look at
that's
that, look
so
at that.
far.
He did
That's
the
so
math.
good.
And it will add 5 damage. So it'll be 17 damage
17?
total.
Nice. So you're so Spyro like instinctually turns to spit fire, and your arrow slides through the fire, engulfing it, and it blasts both this one that you aimed at that was slowed and the one behind it, and so the arrow goes straight through the first one's heart, and then the second one, the fire like it like detonates in a small explosion, singeing and blowing off its face.
No, the arrow gets stuck inside and then explodes from the inside.
Yeah, it connects and then just like blows up his like head and upper part of his chest.
Then we will pop back under the ground.
You can do that more than once.
It's Earth Glide, so I can move through unworked earth and stone.
Jeez, Kyriakos is broken.
35. Okay, actually, I won't be able to get where I want to get with my amount of speed. So instead,
I'm gonna be honest, when I gave him these items, didn't think we were gonna continue with these characters.
Well, you're in the shit now. Time to make a lot more underground monsters.
they already had a burrow.
Well, to be fair, once we're on a boat, it's irrelevant.
Oh, it's not the truth.
It's true. It's unworked stone. So if you guys are ever in like an actual like temple or dungeon or something, you can't move through like the like tiles. So it has its limits.
I think we'll just
Very
aim
strong
at
here, though.
That one.
Sorry, go ahead.
We're just gonna aim at that one.
He's like the ultimate ranger, though.
Yeah,
It's cool.
that's
Pretty
Yeah.
sweet. Yep. And you just as the you fire your first arrow, and just as the first two are falling, you launch your second one so that it just narrowly flies over their corpses to tag the one in the back, killing it.
Yeah, and then Spyro still has his turn, and he will come down here to help out Darius. Wait, hold on, we'll go this way to attack that one with advantage.
Oh, sorry. You make an attack with Spyro?
Yes.
Yeah. 13 does not hit. So you he goes to take a bite at him, but he kind of gets a little bit like he goes in for the kill, but then the creature jumps to the side and dodges. Like without even looking, like he's just like instinctually just like heard Spyro coming up behind him.
Yeah, he's not that quiet. You can hear him.
Rabbit chihuahua noises.
That's my turn.
It's like a fucking Pokemon battle. Go ahead, Darius.
I'm gonna, after I see all of them do their stuff, I'm gonna look at both, I guess, Hestia and Kyriakos and be like, I'm going to go piss off Alcaeus. Watch. And I'm going to walk over here.
Attacks.
I don't know if these two want to take the reaction real quick.
Yeah, I will.
Are they slowed too or no?
Only one of them is.
Just this one,
One
with
of
the
them is
little
slowed.
snail on it.
Just the one, actually.
Just one. 23 hits, right?
23 does hit, but I'm going to flex and cast shield.
Dang.
I'm just going to hard flex. Like, just like,
Is your
just like
reaction.
throw up my shield and then just,
Oh,
and
I
my
was gonna
shield.
say, like, as he's walking away, he doesn't even flinch, but like he knows that they're gonna attack him. So like without even a movement, he summons the shield and they run face first into it. Just like true Chad, like.
I'm just gonna swing my hammer around a few times and then booming blade the one right in front of me.
Kaboom.
Actually, I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna stand dramatically right here, and I'm just gonna, I'm gonna just go blow him right that way because hopefully it carries through.
Cleaves through.
I
Yeah.
believe spells don't cleave through.
Well, I'm making a melee attack.
Oh.
It's just booming. It's one of those. I need to turn off the.
Enhancing melee attack spells.
Yeah. But so that is 12 damage. 3 of it's thunder.
So when your boom explodes like a clap of thunder, you guys all can see the rest of the creatures like visibly cringe from the noise. Like they like recoil from the clap of thunder, and you just completely obliterate the two in front of you. Your hammer like doesn't quite atomize them, but I mean the corpses left behind are, you can barely call them corpses because they just get completely splattered by your attack.
I'm gonna look up at Alcaeus. 37, and then
You know you're bad sportsmanship, right? Like you're bad at that.
you took too long.
22, I'll catch up.
I look forward to it.
Oh wait a minute, who did I poison?
Me.
I poisoned Kyriakos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you were supposed to have disadvantage on your stuff.
Oh, yes, he was.
My bad.
Oops.
Well, go ahead and at least roll your save. To
Oops,
determine-
all advantage.
18?
Okay, you pass. Okay, you pass the save. Oops, that's my bad. Missed my trigger. Okay, Darius. Anything else?
Nope. That's it.
We were all busy sucking Anthony's dick about his magic items, so I forgot. Okay, bad guy's turn.
Wisdom saves.
Yep, I need to make some saves. Probably about to clean up the rest of this encounter.
All the ones that fell die, and just roll 24. Just roll max damage on your thing. They all die.
This
was
one
your,
here is gonna run away probably.
What was your DC, Hestia?
It's 15.
Let's see. Right. Only 2 failed somehow. But they still take damage even if they fail, right?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, 3d8 radiant.
Oh wait, but
Max damage. Right.
8.
So
Decent damage.
all the ones that fell automatically die,
Yep. So these 2 are toast.
and the ones that didn't fell depends on how much HP they have.
Yeah, they only die if the damage meets or exceeds their health. We're using, by the way, I'm using the minion rule from MCDM, if anyone's familiar with that. I've probably talked about it at one point or another on the stream. Anywho, you actually killed all of them, because 10 is the number to beat. So
Well, they
these
take
binds-
they take 5. They take 5 because they saved.
Yeah, but any amount of damage kills a minion. So like if she had rolled a 9, they would have just not taken like it's pretty binary. It's just like they either die or they don't. Does that make sense? We'll talk about it later. But they do all die. Yeah, your vines, your spectral vines just cleave through these things, and they're trying to get away and escape, but because they're slowed by Cyrus's time magic, they can't even. They're just like it's like they're running in place almost. They can't even move.
Their movement's also halved by the vines.
Yep. So they're just like no. They just get completely just annihilated.
The ones that were slowed, wouldn't they have had disadvantage?
They have less AC. They don't have disadvantage. They have 2 minus AC.
Oh, and
that's a wisdom save.
Anyway, not a dex.
I have one guy that's still alive.
Come at me, bro.
I am going to dash at Cyrus.
Oh, wow.
The stupid thing in front of me.
I didn't even need a dash. Does a 12 hit?
Give me a moment.
What is my AC?
No.
So he comes running at you, and he just like he like leaps at you, and you just do like the casual like sidestep, and he just like jumps right past you. And that'll make it your turn.
All right, I'll just do Ray of Frost.
Remember, ranged attacks and melee do have disadvantage.
Do they really?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Do you have any touch-based cantrips?
I do.
You could use that.
The bad touch.
Hold on.
the bad touch.
No, I don't.
Oh,
Sapping sting, is that?
No, it's
this thing is awesome.
it's 30
But
feet.
if saving throws don't trigger the disadvantage, so
It's true.
that's another advantage.
Yeah, so you could make it con save with that.
So
If you'd like.
do what?
Sapping sting, it's a con save. I make the con save. And
Okay,
if it
so
fails.
we'll do that one instead then.
I tricked you. I'm immune to
You ass.
necrotic damage.
Hey, that still means he falls prone if he fails a saving throw.
Yeah, I do still need to save. Sorry, I was trying to read that.
It's been a while.
I did pass my save. So yeah, so you try to stab this thing with the poisonous or the necrotic dark magic, and it shrugs it off without even blinking an eye. Seem to be immune to this type of magic. Anything else?
Hit him with your book.
Oh, I wish.
Be funny. Just give him the bonk. Yeah,
I should have done that.
If I remember correctly, your spellcasting focus is a stopwatch.
Yeah, the stopwatch.
Okay. Sorry, I haven't been describing that. But,
Oh, you're good.
I'll remember for next time.
Not much for me to do right now.
You want to move Merlin? He's good.
Let's see. No, Merlin's fine where he's at.
Okay. He's just
Yeah.
keeping a bird's eye view.
Yep.
All right, Outcast. Bring us home, I guess.
If I can make it over there, I think I'm gonna. I think
Right.
I will do a Hail Mary and I'll toss the javelin. See if it hits.
It's disadvantage because you're 6. Actually, you need to move a little.
Isn't
Are
it
you aiming at
30?
me or him?
Sorry. That was me. My bad.
They all look the same.
Wow. Isn't it 30 to 120? So isn't that in between that? So it's in range.
I think it's 30-60.
It's 3120, but anything
It's-
after 30 feet is still disadvantage.
Oh, that's
And anything
so
beyond-
shit.
And anything beyond 120 is an auto miss.
If it's in 30 feet, then I am definitely like never going to use that, and I'm just gonna run up on something and hit it.
Yeah, it's for when you can't get to them because you're grappled or restrained
Then
on a
40.
boat.
Well, the good news, if I dash, is this difficult terrain? Are these things difficult terrain?
Actually, the two that Darius hit got atomized, so these two are actually completely
And you can
not atomized, but
you can
they are no longer there.
You know what? I'm gonna do something I haven't done in a long time.
But these three are, yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and take out my 50 gold piece diamond, and I'm gonna say my prayer into it. I'm gonna whisper it to myself, and I'm just gonna kind of like do like the baseball, like wind up and throw, and then you're gonna watch as like out of my fist slings like a glob of just like watery energy as I cast Chromatic Orb.
Whoa. I forgot you could do that.
And then so it's 13 DC.
Chromatic Orb's an attack roll.
Yeah.
Is it an attack roll?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's an attack roll.
Yeah.
Oh, I have
Ranged
it on-
spell attack.
Okay, you're good. So, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just the way spell cards work.
Oof.
Does a 12 hit?
12 does not hit.
God damn it! Just
Reroll? Oh no, he's too far.
Your prayer was
He's too
unheard.
far.
my prayer was not heard. My prayer was a miss. It's alright.
So you take a shot from downtown, but
From
the,
downtown.
all the spectral vines and shit that are surrounding Hestia make it a little bit hard to see what you're aiming at, so it doesn't quite connect. It was just
Darius, shut up. Stop judging me. I'm not good at this magic casting.
I didn't see anything. The vines were in the way. Yeah, that's it.
Of course they were.
You're blaming me?
I'm blaming the vines. And that's the end of my turn.
Like to blame the vines as a bonus action.
I'd like to cast spite.
Man. Hestia, you're up.
I'm gonna pull out my Glock. I mean, light crossbow.
She's got to turn sideways. Kill shot.
Can't wait to see that fan art of just. I'm a healer, but.
I'm a healer, but
22 hits.
Call an ambulance.
But not for me.
Alrighty. You want to describe it or you want me to do it?
you do it.
Alright, so Hestia, you pull out your crossbow and the magical like spirit guardian's energy begins to like coalesce around the bolt, and it absorbs all the energy into that shot, and you fire it, and it sails across, finding its mark, and just kind of like Kyriakos' arrow before, it sinks into the might, and then the thorns expand, coating Cyrus in monster guts whenever it dies.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
And now we're out of initiative.
Oh.
That was annoying. I have a feeling we're going to see more of these things on our way to the river or ocean or whatever body of water lies out there.
I missed the ocean already.
As do I.
Can't believe I wasted smite energy on that.
Yes. Way to broaden your horizons.
My horizons were broadened, and it would be 23 instead of 22.
Gonna walk up to Alcaeus and say you need to work on your aim.
Look, there was a lot going on there. Okay, Cyrus. I'm sure you didn't see what you think you saw. After all, those vines were in the way.
I can see just fine.
Yeah, well, that makes one of us. You know, I grew up in the dark, right? All this light and all this arcane energy everywhere. It's nothing like my home.
All
Does
I'm hearing
this one always
excuses.
make excuses?
Yes, he does.
I cure wounds to myself, by the way, so I could go back to full health.
As you guys kind of regroup and celebrate your victory, you notice that the Watcher that has been following you steps forward, and he actually approaches. He steps right in front of Alcaeus.
Mawbreak is already out. I don't let him get too close. I like keep him at the tip of my blade.
Okay, I'll stand back. His form begins to shift and change. The Watcher begins to twist its form, changing from the shape of a Leonin, and it grows into a large centaur. As the centaur takes shape, the inky starlight of the Nyx transforms into the brilliant armor of Erois, the god of victory.
I immediately dismiss Crystal and fall to I just fall on all fours and I just slam my face on the floor. I just go straight prone.
The god of the godly form, or facsimile thereof, to everyone else that's watching, it looks badly injured. Instead of the rippling musculature, it seems to be weak and covered in numerous scars, and its right hand has been reduced to a gnarled stump. In a heroic voice, it says, "So, you still draw breath, eh, Alcaeus?"
My lord, I did not. What happened to you? And I'm still not looking at him. I'm still looking down. I'm not worthy looking at him.
Victory has nearly been lost, champion. Mogus's carnage has known no bounds since your departure. He has plans for your brother Zagreus to usurp me and take my place as god of war, at endless bloodshed, never to know victory again.
What must I do to stop this? I'm sorry I failed you.
We've had a stroke of fortune. In his travels with the Bulwark and claiming souls to fuel the might of his god weapon, he ran afoul of a Gorgon named Tithonia the Cruel. She turned him to stone and took possession of the Bulwark for herself. There it sat for years while war raged across all of Theros. But
How many?
it's okay. But he has been freed. Another champion of the gods, no doubt, but we do not yet know who. It remains to be seen if they have slain Tithonia or joined her, but either way, their power only grows. Let them not find the ancient isle of Grixis, lest he transcend his flesh as mortal champion and ascend to godhood.
What was the name of the island?
Grixis. Grixis.
Okay.
He looks around and he's like, seems there are interlopers, creatures who do not belong here. The Bulwark has waited this long. They can wait for a bit longer. You must cast out these creatures and sever their ties to this plane before resuming your quest to recover the Bulwark.
Which creatures do you refer to, my brightness?
These beings, and he kind of nudges one of the corpses of the creatures you've been fighting. He says, they are They are not from Theros. They are not born of the Nyx. They endanger the balance maybe even more than Mogus. But they have but a small foothold here only on this island.
I will do what I can. I will make sure the Bulwarkers return to you. I will kill my brother and I will restore order to the realm.
Do not fail me, Alcaeus. Eris needs you.
I won't.
And then the centaur begins to shift back into the vaguely Leonin shape of the Watcher.
I stand back up, and then I'm like, I'll just look at the Leonin and I'll just be like, I've seemed to have misjudged you.
It is fine. I serve my duty as you serve yours.
And I kind of looked at Darius and I was like, it's been years.
I heard. I'm not happy about that.
We need to go now.
Where to first?
Follow the routes, and then I just start walking. We're trekking.
I follow the roots in the Scourge. Win the war. I'll start trekking.
Away we go. Alrighty, y'all. I know it's a little bit early, but that is unfortunately going to be the end of our first session. And we will pick this up next week. Everybody, we hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching at home, make sure to subscribe so you can catch the next one. We're going to be doing a bit of a adjusted schedule. The plan for now is 3 weeks on, 1 week off. So tune in next week and the following to see where this thing goes. And
let's get ready to rumble.
Any closing thoughts, anybody?
Let's kill some Phyrexians.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. You came to the wrong plane, motherfucker.
I'm gonna hold my Glock, light crossbow sideways at them.
Oh man.
All right,
This is what they teach at the temple.
Until next time, we will see you. We'll catch you on the flip side.
On D and
Later.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. May the swords be with you.
May the swords be with you.